Today is going to be an interesting one because 2K just dropped a new patch, which of course we're going to go over all of that. Joe Knows is talking about the contest system in 2K26. People are still arguing about rhythm shooting. Cash Nasty pulled out a Zen, and so much more. So I just asked you guys, man, if you think I've been doing a good job keeping you up to date with the news, please drop a like. It does help a lot. It pushes it out to more people. And let's get right into it because you already know I'm not here to waste y'all's time. So Cash Out, as you guys know, right here, he is the #1 level in 2K26. He recently hit Veteran 3. That is what the silver metallic body mod looks like. It's the same from 2K25. Well, he was just on stream recently, and this is what he said about how long it's been since he showered. Let's roll it.
Look, if you don't shower, you still have to put on new clothes. Like right now, I haven't showered in like 5 days, but I have new drip on, so it makes me smell a little bit better.
Yeah, that's what it takes to be the #1 level, I guess, in 2K26. 5 days without showering. All right. Well, you would think that, you know, most people on this game are having an easy time being able to get the ball in the basket. You know, offense is not very hard this year. It's probably the easiest it's ever been right now in a 2K's history. Like the green window in Park and Rec is a mile long. You know what I'm saying? You can green shots with your eyes closed. Well, not everybody is having an easy time because Cash Nasty pulled out a Zen. Let me roll this.
Oh, y'all thought it was a game. Yeah. Yo! Yay! Yay! Yes!
Now look, I don't know if he was doing this for content or what, but having to cheat, I'm just saying for anybody in general, having to cheat to make shots on this game specifically is crazy. I mean, 2K26, bro, I'm telling you guys, in the shoot around before the game, on like day 1, day 2, I was closing my eyes and making shots with the rhythm shooting. Like, it's actually that easy. Of course, I wasn't shooting as good as I do with my eyes open, but I was shooting like 50-60% with my eyes closed. So I don't know what's going on, why anyone needs to cheat on this game. I'm guessing that Cash did that for content, but there were still people saying like he should be banned even if he was doing it for content. So you guys, I don't know. You let me know how you feel about it. But we need to talk about Joe Knows telling us how he feels about the contest system. Let's roll it, and I'll be right back.
I mean, the shot contests aren't that, like, the only time they really seem like, damn, like, what the fuck's going on is when there's a significant height difference, which obviously it should be a factor. I just think right now it's probably a little OD in terms of how much of a factor it is. But like a 6'8 versus 6'8, like, I don't know, maybe it's just I'm like biased because like my build has 92 perimeter, but I feel like I get contests like when I'm supposed to get contests on a build the same height as me. But when it's like a tall center, I could punch him in the fucking throat mid-shot and that bitch so wide open. I feel like in those aspects it's like maybe something needs to be changed in that aspect, but overall, like when I'm in position, if there's not a significant height difference, I get a contest.
Well, there you guys go. It seems like Joe Knows doesn't really want much change with the contest system if they do make a change, besides, like he said, the significant height difference where, you know, you can jump and your hand is literally picking the dude's nose and it says it's open. You know what I'm saying? So you guys let me know how you feel about the contest system still on 2K26 now that you have your badges, now that everyone else has their badges. I mean, we can actually say for sure now how the gameplay is, like your opinion on it, right? Not everyone's is going to be the same, but I was telling you guys, you know, day 1, day 2, even like a weekend, you know, not everyone's got their badges yet because there was early access, so there was people that didn't get the game until like a week later. But now pretty much everybody has at least one maxed out build versus other maxed out builds, so we really know where 2K26 is. But is it going to be this way in a week, in 2 weeks, when they drop that big gameplay patch before season 2? We'll have to see. Now, Pika went to Twitter and said, people use stick shooting more than the button. Y'all think people would just switch if there was no reason to? Obviously, the stick is easier, and y'all are lying to yourselves if you disagree. So again, I gotta take a deep sigh before we get into this, man. People are, I mean, every time I open Twitter, it is arguing about the rhythm shooting or not. Splash said 98% of the good players are saying, hey, let's tone down how good the stick tempo stuff is because dudes are fading from half court, early timing, green tempo. Once the stick shot got banned, people can't do that with the button. Therefore, it's obvious something is going on. And he said, parentheses, I don't care though. I mean, Splash, he's already won the $10,000 tournament in my team on the first week. That man doesn't care, right? He's just saying how the game is in his opinion. But, I mean, apparently, like he says, they banned the tempo shooting in Pro-Am and stuff, and people weren't hitting nearly as many crazy shots, having to hit those shots with the button. So that's what he's saying. Now, Power said rhythm shooting is way easier than shooting with the button. You can make a half bar with rhythm, and anyone saying it's equal because both have one thing to time is missing the point. Using the right stick tempo is way easier than locking in the exact timing of a jump shot. I don't know, man. I really don't know at this point. Like, it's just so much going on. Uncle Demi said, I'll say this again. The contest system in 2K26 isn't the real problem. The issue is the green window being way too big, plus rhythm shooting not requiring real timing. I have a 75 3-point rating with no deadeye, which should mean my green window should be extremely small without the deadeye badge. I'm guessing he's saying when contested. And I'm still hitting 75% of highly smothered and contested shots. Why? Because the green window either doesn't shrink enough under contest or doesn't shrink at all, which is crazy because for dunking, the window is extremely small when contested. So contest doesn't even matter if the window is wide open. Then you add rhythm shooting, you don't even need proper timing, just the right tempo. That means with my 75 3-point big, I not only get a massive green window, but I don't even need to time my shot correctly, and it still goes in. I get both sides of the debate, but we need to be careful. If 2K changes this, it could drastically reshape how the game is played right now, just playing devil's advocate. So, I mean, he does have a point with the dunk meter. Like, if you are contested, the meter does shrink, right? I'm not saying the logic is perfect this year at all, but I would love to see a test from 2K Labs or 2K Toots, because to my knowledge, we haven't gotten any information from either of them or Mike Wang on how much the green window shrinks when you're contested. So it's okay. Most of us wanted no RNG in the game, which means if you time your shot right, it goes in. But I think that most of us can logically agree that your green window should be smaller the more contested you are. So let's say you have a wide open shot. Every jump shot is like 500 milliseconds, okay? Let's say a wide open shot gives you a 50 millisecond green window. I think most of us can agree that, and this is just examples, of course, if you are 30% contested, your green window should shrink to like 25%, right? It's a more difficult shot, therefore the window should shrink. Now, does it shrink at all in 2K26? And how much does it shrink if it does? That is the question that I need to know before I can tell you guys if things should be changed in that spot right there. You know what I'm saying? So this is what Boomy said under Uncle Demi's tweet. She said, contests are supposed to dynamically shrink green window like it does for dunk. Right now, it doesn't seem to, which is why once it's addressed with a fix for blitzes, balance will be restored in the game. So we already know there's going to be a fix for the blitz steals, the collision system. Mike Wang said that it wasn't working properly. I don't understand why it's taking them until that Season 2 patch to change it, when that was like a few days into the game. Mike Wang said that in Bauer's chat. Because at this point, I just want to see what it does. It's not that I want there to be any changes at the moment. I mean, and there is changes that I want. You guys know that. But I haven't vocally said, I need this to change, I need that to change, just because I'm so scared that 2K is going to overly change whatever it is. And I'm not about to be blamed for that, bro. Like, I'm really not. Like with shot contests and stuff like that, you know, it's possible, and it's actually very possible, for 2K to drop a patch fixing, quote unquote fixing, because a lot of people, the majority of my comments, I see it on Twitter, the majority wants a contest buff. It's very possible that 2K makes 7'4" better with a contest buff. Hear me out. If you're on a 6'4", if you're on a 6'6", you're going to get contested a lot more if they don't change it per height, which I don't think they would do. So that means still the least contestable builds will be the 7'4s and 7'3s. Yeah, you're going to get more contest, right? but they're still going to be the best at being able to not get contested. So I'm worried. I really am for this Season 2 patch. But this is what I said on Twitter. The green window is huge on 2K26, but I'd still rather have no RNG and a massive green window than RNG on steroids 2K25. If I could change the shooting, I believe the real skill gap is no RNG, but a small green window. I've said this for years. We had that in the beginning of 2K24, and 2K changed it due to the majority of players complaining that shooting was too hard. I guarantee you this is why Mike went ahead and made shooting quote-unquote easy in 2K26, so it didn't need a buff from complaints. Because year after year now, we have the game comes out, people say, oh, shooting is too hard, fix it. Okay, so it gets fixed. So Mike went ahead and was like, okay, we'll just make it where that buff probably would have landed with the shooting before the game comes out. Now, a big thing to keep in mind, please, is I've seen people commenting under the tweet and they were like, oh, go play Proving Grounds, stop trying to get the game changed. But I am not trying. I'm not saying that 2K needs to change the green window. Okay, I've told you guys multiple times, the green window, the difficulty is much different in like Proving Grounds and Stage, Pro-Am. And what I think 2K has tried to do is make Park the unrealistic, more arcadey version of the game, and then Proving Grounds the more realistic, more simulation part of the game with the sliders. Whether you agree with that or not, and I know some people are like, oh, I shouldn't have to go here to play the game, whatever, but what I'm saying is, in that tweet, if I was Mike Wang, if I was the gameplay director, that's what I would do. That's what I believe is the real skill gap, is to have no RNG, yes, like we have this year, but also you have a small window where you're going to have to actually look at your player, like the beginning of 2K24 before that big patch where I begged Mike to not change the shooting, and you're going to have to time your shot correctly in a smaller window. I think that's the real skill gap. But I'm not saying to change anything, okay? I'm just saying that's what I would do if I was a gameplay director, and guess what? I'm not, okay? I am not. But anyway, 2K dropped a patch, okay? In the last patch, we know that build specializations in My Career was not working. They turned it off. I think because there was a glitch for specializations in My Career, so that's why they turned it off. Well, they turned it back on, and this is what it says. Developer note, we are working quickly to resolve the most user-impacting issues being reported. Feedback from the community has been quick and clear. We thank you. The patch we will release prior to the launch of Season 2 will contain a much broader set of fixes and improvements spanning the entire game. No gameplay changes have been made in this patch as we continue to monitor games across various modes by players of all skill levels. So 2K is still not changing the contest system. They're not changing anything. All right. There is a lot of people in my comments, when I'm reading comments on Twitter and stuff, that they want that. I mean, it's always the top comments. I never see any more, hey, let's wait, let's not change this. There's some people that say it, but it's way, way outnumbered by the likes and stuff, the engagement. I'm just going off engagement, okay? I'm not saying, I talked to you guys in a previous video where just because something is the most liked doesn't mean you need to believe it, right? But that's for a whole different topic, right? But that is just what I'm saying, is that it seems like there is a good amount, a majority of players agreeing that something needs to be changed. I've just told you guys time and time again how scared I am for that change, okay, and what could possibly happen. Now it says the city, numerous fixes to game stability in the city have been made, resolved an issue with matchmaking that prevented locker rooms from properly filling. Additional matchmaking improvements and optimizations will be arriving over the next week. So I think that is for skill-based matchmaking where people have been waiting for ridiculous amounts of times for games. Just because they're purple plate or red plate, and then resolved an issue that could cause outdated daily challenges to appear on the tracking list. My Career, build specialization progress has been re-enabled when playing NBA games. So that is our patch 1.4 for 2K26. Now, you guys let me know what you think needs to be changed, but also, if you can, let me know how it needs to be changed, right? Like, if you say change the contest system, what do you mean by that? What part of the contest system do you want to be changed? Do you think that you should be standing next to someone and that gives you a good contest? Do you think that hands up defense needs a buff? Maybe hands up and jumping defense. Maybe a patch just for 7 3s and 7 4s if that's possible from 2K. Explain what you think needs to be changed if you can, or just say, hey, buff this, nerf this. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, guys, if you want to see me streak hunting on 2K26, getting a free build from beating all these streaks, man, click right here, or you can tap the one on the right, which shows you my 6'5" build with 99.3, Legend Posterizer, and Legend Strong Handles with Legend Brick Wall. What? Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, you need to go check it out. Click one of these two, and I'm out of here. Peace.